Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find out more details about us in the description of this video, including our Facebook page and our online store. And I do just want to do a bit of a shameless plug there for our online store. A lot of work and effort has gone into it. Make sure you guys check it out. The prices are cheaper than our other sales channel. So, I mean, it doesn't make too much of a difference for us which way you go, but for you guys, you can get it cheaper. So make sure you check it out. The details, the links are in the description of this video, which is going to be about the Ichiban Kuji, the greatest Saiyan last one golden Oozaru figure. Now I have explained in another video what last one means, so I won't go into that in this video. You can click the little eye in the top right of your corner to see a link to that video if you want to check it out. But before I get into the figure, I actually want you guys, because I'm sure if you're watching this you're a Dragon Ball fan, to say what you think of the GT series, because I think there's been this mantra over the years that, Dragon Ball fans don't like GT, and I admit myself it's not the best part of the series, but I always quite liked GT. You've got the travels into space, so you've got the adventure part of it in the beginning, then you've got the Tuffles and Baby, and then you've got the Black Star Dragon Balls, Nova Shenron, Omega Shenron. Of course, you've got the Super Saiyan 4 transformations. So I always thought it was actually pretty decent, and I know a lot of people won't agree with me on this, but I actually would rank it higher than Dragon Ball Super. It's just my opinion, but I think there's this mantra, that people would say, oh, because Toriyama Akira wasn't the one who did it all, even though he was actually involved with character designs and things, it's always got a bad rap. So I'm really interested, do people out there really like Dragon Ball GT? But anyway, let's have a look at the figure. And the first thing that you all probably want to know is just how big is it? Well, here it is, and I'm not really sure the best way to convey the size to you guys, but it actually has been advertised, as you can see, there's 30 centimeters. But actually, and I measured it, that's only to about the top of the head. But if you actually measure to the top of the fists, by my measurement from the actual bottom of the base, it's 42 centimeters, which is about 16.5 inches. So it's massive. It really is massive. And the feet are actually a little bit off the bottom. I'll talk about that in a moment. But nonetheless, 42 centimeters effectively. So just to have some comparisons there, so that is an amiibo, one of the larger amiibos. So you can see it only just goes above the leg. This is one of the larger sculpture figures that was released, so that's not even halfway, right? And then if you have one of the more recent figure releases, that's the box, right? That's not the figure, that's the box. So you can see that is about halfway. And if we have one of the larger figure releases with a Grandista, you can see again just how big that actually is. So it's very large. It is very, very large, and it will make a great centerpiece in your collection. In terms of the assembly required for this, there really is none other than the tail. So the tail is a separate piece, and that just connects into the back, and that's pretty much it. Now there is a clear, you probably can't see it, it is in there, there's you can just see it, there's a clear cylindrical piece that just sits underneath his buttocks. In fact, you can actually kind of see it in the paper here. Now you don't need to use that, it will stand without that, or you could even just leave it in the sort of cardboard stand here if you wanted to display it like that. Yeah, it's nice that they have they've actually used a clear one, so there's no sort of ugly stands there. So there's really only 3 pieces, and well, kind of 2 actually, if you don't include the stand. Now, a lot of people have actually said they're surprised at the fact that it doesn't have a box. And, you know, here at FOJ, Figuring Out Japan, we were very happy to see that it didn't have a box, because it makes it so much easier to pack this and send it. And it does allow us to actually send it via standard postage, because it is limited by weight and size. And so ultimately, if it's not by standard postage, you either go a really slow method or you go a really expensive method. So it's definitely a lot more practical. I understand people would want a box from collector types of purposes, but nonetheless, I still think that it's a lot more practical that they've done it this way. And, you know, boxes, they're nice, but you spend, you know, 10 seconds looking at it, and then you sort of, you know, move on to the actual figure and display the figure. And you'll know actually with some of the large figures that they've released over the years, which they haven't done too much recently, but around 2009, 2011, there were quite a few large Ichiban Kujis, and they didn't really have that much artwork design anyway, like the brown fur Oozaru, the Master Roshi, the Freezer in space pod thing, his little chair thing. They didn't have that much artwork and stuff anyway. So the other comment I have seen people leave online is saying that the color is actually different. I mean, if you actually look at the, you know, the sort of promotional artwork, it may look different, but I think that's kind of normal, to be honest. Like, you've got all the effects and the, you know, you've got all the sort of background lightning and stuff like that. They've obviously played around with the lighting a little bit, but I think the actual color of the fur is pretty much what it shows there. It is quite a bright yellow that they've used. Maybe people were expecting it to be a bit darker. There is some toning here in the his sort of, I don't know, 6-pack thingy. But yeah, I know a lot of people have their own lights in their display cases, and I think you could quite easily recreate that sort of effect, because the sculpt of this is absolutely beautiful. Like, it really is done very well. You can see all the fur and the hairs and all the sort of nooks and crannies in the figures. So I think you could recreate that, but you probably won't get it quite to that effect. So obviously they've, you know, they have marketed it fairly well, which is what you want to do. I think it's a bit like Lego. You know, you buy a Lego set and they've got all these cool graphics and stuff on the box, and then you open it and you make it, and it's cool, but it doesn't have all the, you know, extra effects and things. So I personally don't think it's really an issue, and I do like the color that they've used, which is I think accurate to what it's supposed to be in the show. Do I have any complaints or criticisms about the figure? Not really. I personally think it's maybe better to actually display it in the stand, this sort of cardboard stand. You can very easily take it out, it just lifts out. But I would have liked to have seen maybe a bit more artwork here, maybe have the GT logo, although I did notice they actually used the Dragon Ball Super logo, not the GT logo. Maybe even do this like as a rock design, or have some sort of other pattern in there. That would have been nice, but they didn't do that, obviously. You can see, and this isn't a complaint, but this is, you know, some real hardcore collectors sometimes make note of this. You can see the joins where it's been made in different pieces. You can see there around the neck, there's that line that sort of follows where my finger goes. I hope that's in focus. I mean, people forget that these do have to be manufactured somehow, and you can see it around the legs as well, but you can't avoid that, and it's really not noticeable unless you really sort of get up close. I think overall the sculpt job is very good. I mean, you can see all the teeth and the tongue. It's a very nice detailed sculpt. Now some people were also worried that because it was actually, again, advertised as a soft fix, that it's a Sofubi figure. It actually says it there, and people thought that it's like a really soft, cheap material, but it is quite heavy. It's about 1.5 kilos, as I said before, and it's, you know, I'm pressing that and it's not bending. It doesn't really have any give in it, so it is a very nicely made solid figure. So yeah, but I'd love to know what you guys think of this figure. The only other thing I could have suggested to improve is maybe have the armor, or actually done a baby version of this. By baby version I mean actually had the blue face and some of the armor, which of course they did do many years ago in the Super Battle collection, in what now is an extremely rare and collectible figure. But they didn't do that in this case. So maybe they'll do that in the future, given the popularity of this figure. The other thing they could have done, and I'm glad they didn't, is actually done this in a gold paint, actually like a metallic gold. But I think that would have looked a bit strange, so I'm glad they did that. But I'd love to know what you guys think. I'm truly, sincerely sorry I couldn't open this. I know people are going to leave negative comments, but we have to get these out to customers, and at the end of the day, our customers take priority. So those of you who ordered this, it's on the way, and really look forward to it, because it is an absolutely amazing figure. And if you still want to order this from us, by all means check out the links in the description of this video. So thanks for watching, and check out our YouTube channel for more great videos about collectible figurines from Japan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.